Hello, everyone. Good day and welcome to One Global Movement. I am so happy and excited to have all of you here, especially some big pillars that are in the house. Big pillars from One Global Movement, people that we look up to, people that we watch them, we follow them, people that they have impacted us with a lot of knowledge to do what we are doing. Thank you guys so much. I know we are living in exciting times because OnPassive is moving from one top to the other. And because of that excitement, we all now begin to focus on what matters to us so that we can reach the global world. We can reach our young people, our children, and families so that together with Ash Mufare, we can uplift humanity. And thank you so much, Mr. Moloch, for being here today. You heard about it today and you're here. I've been wanting to get a hold of you. I've been following you, but I didn't know how. But I think this is the time. And then God showed me the way. Thank you, Engineer Sushanta. You are one of the people that we look up to. We learn a lot from your webinar, and thank you for inviting me. Thank you to Mr. John Barilla, who is the managing director globally. Thank you to Auntie Lynn, who is doing a lot to advise us on what to do. I just want to thank you, Amina, everyone that is involved. Amina is the media and marketing director of One Global Movement. I want to thank you all for what you're doing. If I don't mention your name, know that you matter still, because I'm not going to waste time to mention every name, because you know what you're doing. And with Ash Mufara Unpassive, and with the fear of God, divine intervention, we're going to change one life at a time. We have been treating a lot of topics, just so you know, Mr. Moloch and Engineer Shanta and the new people that are here. We've been treating a lot of topics, but today I want to throw the action plan of One Global Movement out there so that you guys can add onto it, because together we know what to do. We are living with children and these young people. We've been gifted differently. We live in different parts of the world. We have different backgrounds. We have different orientation. When we put these ideas together, then we would know how to reach to all corners of the globe. So I want to thank Yasmin, if she's not here, because she is the one who helped to prepare this One Global Movement Action Plan. I highly appreciate you. So we're going to be reading the plan, and please put your comments in the chat, or your questions or your suggestions or your proposal in the chat. But before we continue, I am going to give the floor to Mr. Jeffrey Moloch to say one or two things, and then to Engineer Sushanta too, before we continue with the plan. Thank you so much.
Wow. I think I'm unmuted. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Beautiful. Wow, what a great platform this is, and what an honoring. Thank you so much for inviting me here and sharing with me a little earlier on Engineer Shushanta's webinar about what you're doing and how you're doing it. I certainly do appreciate that, and it's something that should be right up the alley for every one of us. I mean, when we start talking about children of the world, um, it's pretty safe to say that their well-being is crucial to the future of any society. I mean, children are still developing; they're especially vulnerable, a lot more so than adults and stuff. And when they're subject to poor living conditions, like poverty or inadequate health care and nutrition, water and housing, environmental issues like pollution and such, it can be very detrimental to children as a whole. I mean, in reality, I think the effects of disease and malnutrition and poverty all threaten the future of children, and therefore it threatens our societies and our future as well. And I am so just blessed to be brought into this and be a part of what you're doing through OnPassive, and through the blessing of OnPassive, we're going to be able to bless so many other people. And there's lots of ways that we can help. I mean, globally speaking, just by feeding hungry children through the workplace, the church, the schools, those sorts of things, providing education, giving access to education, especially to the underprivileged children. We can help to protect them through various programs from abuse, being exploited, neglected. I mean, there's so many things that are right now coming at and affecting our children globally, worldwide. And as bad as it sounds, a lot of these things that are really happening, we don't hear about. You do not hear about it on mainstream media. And until you start digging into other platforms, then you probably won't. The good thing is, like you're showing us right here, right now, Doctor, is that we can use our voice and we can use our social networks to address those critical issues. And we can urge all the, education, the churches, the workplaces, government leaders to make children a top priority. So thank you for inviting me to this. Thank you for sharing this with me. And I am here for you, and whatever we can do, we're going to do. And thank you. I'm here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moloch. And you make me almost tear up because considering my background and what I had to go through to acquire an education as a child, 11-year-old child, no child should ever be made to visit where I was, because we are here and we've been blessed and highly favored with unpassive. So I am so happy that you said the issues facing our children is a global issue. It's not the issue of one person, and that you are happy to be here. Now I love you even more, because now we know that there is you, the pillar. I am the nosy one, because if I don't get what I want, I keep coming. Maybe your wife or your family will be like, what's wrong with her? There's nothing wrong with me if you understand my background, because I am going to come after you. You're going to be one of the pillars that is going to be a pointer to where we can take this, because you're more knowledgeable, you're more experienced, more than us here. We are just groping around, but having people like you, then we know that we can touch every society, particularly the poorest society, and children that are digging their heads into garbage cans and eating, and young girls that, because of their gender, they refuse to give them an education. I was one of them, and I'm so grateful for you, and I love you. We love you. We thank you for being among us here. So let's hear from Engineer Sushanta, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yvonne. Indeed, it's a great pleasure for me to be here with so many leaders of youth, I should say. But with your uh, sentence that the issues, global issues, yes, it's a global issues for youth. But now, the on-passive has solved that issues. If we can take the advantage of the platform on passive, I'm sure that all of our youths and young people will be in a good shape, and they will build a good life. And the youth are the foundation or backbone for any nation or any community or even any country. So education is their basic needs, basic foundation. And if they don't have any good education, the quality education or the right education, definitely they won't be uh, able to learn so many things. They will be behind any update knowledge. So they won't able to have sufficient knowledge to lead the country, to lead the nation. So it's most important the education, and of course healthcare and their economic opportunities are also most important. We know that Robert Kiyosaki always is fighting that we need the business education parallel to our general education, because in general education we may have some knowledge, but we may not have sufficient business knowledge that we can do in our life, because most of our youth, they learn the general education, and they always think that they will do, after completing their education they'll do their regular job, 9 to 6. There is 8 hours, 10 hours, and some, especially for the women, they never think in the they never think that they will work outside the home. Especially in the South Asian countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, most of our women, they're mostly housewives. Mostly housewives. They're actually suffering crisis of their identity. But I'm really grateful and thankful to our CEO that he has given such a nice platform that all the women now they can express themselves that we are the business entrepreneur. So youth is most important, and youth participation in the decision making, that is also most important, and mentorship and safe spaces. We have to provide a safe spaces for our youth so that they can grow up without any hassle, without any obstacles. They can have a good environment to have their education, to maintain their healthcare, everything. So mentorship and safe spaces are very important, and also building confidence and leadership. That is also most important. We have to make them educated. We have to encourage them so that they can be confident on themselves and they can lead for anything. And addressing inequalities and discrimination. Definitely, from the beginning at the childhood, if they understand about the discrimination, they will grow up accordingly. They don't have any discrimination. They will never think any skin, any color, religion, nothing else. And celebrating youth achievements, that is most important. What they are achieved, definitely we should celebrate that. On that, celebrate that, they should be encouraged to do much more. So thank you so much, Yvonne, for giving us such a opportunity to speak on this global platform. I'm really, really proud of having proud of to be at that platform. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Definitely, if you uh, feel us, if you need me or any suggestion, any solution, definitely I'll try for my best. I'm in the business line for 30 plus years, so definitely I'll share my experience with the youth, so they will be also business minded. They will never be focused on their 9 to 6 p.m. Regular job. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You and Mr. Molo could not have said any better. You've said it all. I just want to be so thankful that you guys are here today. You guys are going to be the pointers because you already know what you're doing. We are still learning. We are students. We are your students, and you're going to be here to direct us in the right direction. You talked about business education by Robert Kiyosaki. I read his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. He is one of the people that is educating the youth because in Onpasi, we have young entrepreneurs, and it is our responsibility to educate them. Education, education, education. It doesn't just mean classroom education. What we are doing now in Onpassive, it's the real education. I call it a university of Onpassive. And I am just so thrilled that one little girl from grass to grace is now going to be helping a ton of other young women never to be where I was before. You talk about education, you talk about health, which is so important because if you don't have that health, you cannot do anything. You talk about giving them their self-esteem, teaching them to so that they can have their self-esteem to know that they matter, that they have value, that they are worthwhile, that they can also do it. That mean from blood to living in the bush at a very young age. If I'm here today, then you too can do it. We need to encourage these young people to come on this platform because we need to hear from them where the joy lies, where the pain is, where the shyness is, whatever it is, we need to encourage them to come here because we don't want to impose some on them. We want to hear from them. What is it that they're doing? What is their purpose? What is it that they have within them that they want to do, that they don't have the direction? We know that there are mentors here like you, Engineer Sushanta, and Mr. Molo. We know that you guys are here, and let us encourage them to come. Please mentor me. mentor us in one global movement so that we can go out in the field as ambassadors of Unpassive and do the work, because the world would never be the same because we all came here through Unpassive. Thank you guys so much. I am so just over 3. I don't know if I'm going to even read this uh, uh, one global movement action plan well, but bear with me. It is something that we're going to keep adjusting and amending it, and I will present it to you guys so that you can take a look and see what else you can add on there so that we can do it. But please leave your comments, your suggestion, everything in the chat. Thank you all so much. Thank you for the new people that are here. I will not be able to mention you by name because I'm just so overwhelmed with joy. And thank you. So, one global movement youth empowerment action plan. So we envision a world of diversity and empowerment and a world of inclusion where no child is left behind. Everybody is included without any qualification or anything, because everybody is given life. So long as they are breathing, whether they are disabled, no matter what they are, we need to get a hold of them and make sure that they have what they need. And that is one of the things. And then we envision everyone, families, because if you educate the child without educating the family, that child will still be at the same point. So we get the parents involved. And what is it that they need? Because some of us are here, there are things that we need, but we don't know. We think that we are doing the right thing, but we don't know. But when we have people that know, like these strong pillars, like Mr. Ashmofara, like Auntie Lynn, who is here, like a lot of all Engineer Shashanta, Mr. Moloch, everyone here, we know that together we can literally eliminate poverty, hunger, illiteracy, homelessness, and all the other social challenges that face our young people, our children, and the global economy. And we have been given that platform by Unpassive to do that. So we have to encourage young people to take an active role in their communities, because charity begins at home. When you start in your communities, first of all, starting with yourself, to know who you are and what is it that you've been called to do. Now you go around your villages, your environment, your community. You start from there. You get involved, maybe by volunteering or going to the nursing home to play music to our grandparents or our parents, or going to schools to volunteer in schools. What is it that we can do? Let us go down to the needy and greedy, the smallest. Let's go down to the bare minimum and take it from there and build it up. And then we provide opportunities for skill development and leadership training, just like Mr. Moloch and Engineer Sushanta said. That is the kind of training. Foster a sense of global citizenship and social responsibility. There is beauty in diversity. We are being different for a beautiful reason. We are created differently and gifted differently for a beautiful reason. Let us take these differences and make it inclusive to everybody, because we all have something to bring to the table that we can use to help the global world. Let us make the whole world feel the footprints of destiny of Unpassive and Mr. Ash Mufara through us. Thank you so much for this. And then the objective here, the objectives is to discuss topics for youth empowerment, which is a steering group. It's like we are using this as an example, and then we implement that according to the environment, because not all environment, not one size fits all. Some people, they need to be, there are things, their plans need to be done and drawn differently. So we do that according to the environment, according to the unique needs of that environment, the unique needs of the young people all over the world. And while doing that, we know, we instill in them to know that they are powerful. They can do it. I I came from nothing, I just said all the time. But if I can do it, they too can do it. And I know that my story is just a symbol of a lot of other stories that are out there. So they can do this. And then identifying key issues. What are the key issues in this environment? Discuss and prioritize these key issues and begin to take it piecemeal, little by little, and then we move forward. And then We also, like, what are the challenges that are faced by these young people in these various communities? How can we organize these challenges into little groups that we can manage them, not to overwhelm them, so that they can get to their goals and their dreams, providing them with the tools they can use. We're not going there to feed them. We're going there to teach them and then provide the tools with which they can use to build on their hopes and their dreams. And in turn, they can begin to teach others, living a life of leadership and purpose. So, and then developing action plan, brainstorm and develop concrete action plan, not just talking. We put it into action. Remember, Mr. Ashmufara says, hard work pays off. Action, action, action. He's been working so hard, and we are just here enjoying. We have nothing to complain about. Whether it is one or two glitches, no, we don't complain, because otherwise we'll be so greedy. We are portraying ourselves as greedy people. These things are things that we believe in. When you believe in, you see it. We're not just going to be talking from our mind side. We're going to be talking with the action and believing, because when you believe, you get to it. And then we develop that action plan. Number 3, we collaborate with opportunities that are out there with other organizations that serve the needs of these young people, of these children and families. In short, it is general, everybody, because you cannot want to educate the child or empower the child or the young man and woman without empowering the family, because family is so vital, because they still have to go to these families. So we need to do those things. So resource mobilization. How can we mobilize resources? I throw this out there, especially to you, Mr. Moloch and Mr. Engineer Sushanta. How can we mobilize these resources? What can we do? Just send me, assign me what to do, and I will go for it, because I don't know. So how can we mobilize these resources so that we will know how to strategically distribute these resources to these young men and women and children, schools, community gathering, to their businesses? What can we do? We have been given the platform to do that. So we have to create a mentorship program. How can we mentor these children? Where can we get volunteers? Where can we get strong pillars like you guys who will come here and say, hey, I can do this? And this can be possible now without people having to drive or take flights to go anywhere. Mr. Ashmufara has made it possible through artificial intelligence and IT. Academy. Academy is there for us to do those things, where a child can sit right in the confines of their own home, in the safety of their own home with their parents, and begin to learn these things without having to go through the Atlantic Ocean to cross over to look for greener pastures and be dying in seas or dying in the forest because they are rushing to go to somewhere. Now, Mr. Ashmufara is going to provide that, so that together the world will be a happy, smiling place for all of us, particularly our young ones and our children. So then number 6, engage youth voices. Now I created a program that I go Monday through Thursday. It's called Speak with Heart, Voice with Soul, which is a program that is encouraging the youth to come and talk. Some of them are shy, maybe because of one reason or the other, because we don't know. We want to encourage them to come and voice out their opinion, to come here. We want to sit back and hear from them in one global movement, so that we will know how well and better to serve them. So we also want to capacity building, discuss strategies to enhance the capacity and skills of youth in the community. We have to also do that. And then number 8, sustainable impact. Consider ways to ensure the long-term sustainability of all these programs and what we are doing, that they can carry on. We can just keep adjusting according to the needs of our children. And then we know that it's going to go for the long haul, not just for the moment. We building generational wealth, not wealth in terms of money, but wealth in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of living a life of leadership and purpose, in terms of doing other things that will be here long. When we are all long gone, those programs will still be here, so that we can rest assured that we will sleep in our graves in peace, knowing that we came this way to empower the world with unpassive. We've been given the means. There is no excuse here. So celebrating successes and sharing best practices. We know through all this, our global youth, that this one is graduating, and we take statistics. We take note and accountability, knowing that, oh, this child is graduating. We reach out and show our support. We congratulate them. When we do that, we're building that self-esteem that Engineer Sushanta talked about, building self-esteem in them, giving them flowers and love hearts and doing whatever we need to do so that the child feels belong to the world. We are living in a global village. That is why Mr. Ash Mufara has made it possible for me. I'm sitting here in the United States in the beautiful land of 10,000 lakes, Minnesota, but I'm talking to all of you there. I am seeing you, Ava, I'm seeing you, John Barilla, I am seeing you, Engineer Sushanta, Amina, I'm seeing all of you, Lynn, because Mr. Ash Mufara has made it possible. One big, happy, positive global family. Let us get to work. Roll our sleeves up. I work. I have a farm here and a garden. I'm using it to teach the importance of organic farming to our children. We can all do that. There are different things that we can teach according to their skills. So we celebrate them. And then target audience. To engage young people, children, use social media, peer outreach, youth-led initiative, mentorship, and the interactive activities support innovations of technology usage. That is what we are on Perseverance. What a blessing. I'm so happy for that. Why youth empowerment is very important. Why is youth empowerment very important? Youth empowerment is crucial. It is not just important, it's part and parcel of our lives. If we want to be happy, we want to make sure that our children are happy. Youth empowerment is crucial for creating a better future, a better world. It allows young people to develop skills, take action, and make positive changes in their own communities, in their families, in their own personal lives. It is so important so that way we are reaching out to that 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old that holds a gun and go and shoot people in the mall or in the church or just gun down people because they don't know. They don't know. Maybe because of their background, we don't know what went wrong that child is doing, that there has to be something that is wrong for them to do that. Now we get to the bare minimum and bring that child up so that they know that they're not supposed to use that gun, so that they know that they're not supposed to bully another child in class just because of the color of their skin or the content of their character. There has to be something wrong. So we come together and we deliver. We deliver. So we have this program, youth leadership and personal development skills, skills building and entrepreneurship, community service and social action, and then funding action. How do we get this funding? We go to grants from nonprofit organizations or foundations. Right now, I am trying to build a One Global Movement nonprofit organization. I don't know how to, but I'm guessing that there are people with talents in here that will reach out to me and hold my hand and lead me into the direction that I'm supposed to go in order to put those papers and documentation together to abide by the rules and regulations and the laws of our society. That is very important. So we can also do crowdfunding. Oh, bless. But not to say that we have to depend on Oblast. We ourselves, let us be so selfless that when we are withdrawing money from our wallet, please, and I'm going to do that, we put something back into Oblast so that it will continue to grow. That is how we can get a hold of all these young children, our young ones and families across the globe. If we are withdrawing $1,000, let us put at least even $1, but let's put more than that because we have more than that now, being founders of Unpassive. We put more. Then corporate sponsorship or partnership with partners with others that can help to sponsor this youth and provide those resources. So call to action. We're calling for action, not just talking. We need your voice, your energy, and ideas to create positive change in the world. Join our movement and be a part of the Solution today. Presence is very important. Presence now will spark something out of you to want to do it. And we're going to be appointing people to be directors and representatives and ambassadors in their various areas, because you know better what your community needs, so we can reach out through that way. So we need to take action. And I just want to say thank you for joining us in our mission to empower youth and children and families worldwide. I love you all. The floor is open for discussions. Please let us all chip in. Thank you so much. Any, Mr. Moloch, Engineer Sashanta, John, Barilla, anybody wants to go, please?
Okay, I was going to wait for others, but I mean, I can certainly chip in on this. I loved everything you said. There are some things in it that I thought about while you were speaking, and I was like, wow, okay, this is going to be something pretty big, and this is going to be something that we can all take part of. And the beauty of it is you got enough of us to do it. Now, to help, let's see, how do you say this? In helping children to be able to do what you are wanting them to do, which is to take active roles and to work collaboratively. That was a word you used. Work together to understand how their roles are going to affect social and economic change. Even they're going to need some things. Okay, right off the bat, we're going to need to make sure that they understand and can use critical thinking. Of course, this supposes or presupposes that the children we're talking about are older than 9 or 10, since that's about the time they actually develop their critical thinking. If you try to do it before, then you're going to get a deer in the headlight look kind of thing, But having said that, we should help our children learn to be able to analyze the options and make logical decisions and understand the impact of those decisions on other people and on themselves. Another thing that we need to understand for our children and have children understand is resilience. That can't really be overstated because there's a lot going on in the world, and I know of no better example than Mr. Ashmu Farah when it comes to resilience. I've looked at what he's gone through just in the last 5 years, and he just keeps pushing through it like a bulldozer, So to that end, children should be able to learn to embrace and understand and believe that they can learn to overcome challenges. They can overcome hardships or deficits with good, clean, positive effort. Okay. Creativity. Children should be able to develop original and useful products and to put their imagination, whether you're talking physical inventions like Mr. Mufar is coming out, or whether you're talking technologies and software or development of ideas, which they're also doing in their, the innovation labs. That's when we get the children on the right path, getting that kind of education, so that when they start really getting these creative juices going and they understand who they are and that nothing can really stop them except themselves, that's the trajectory we want them on. And you asked, like, who's going to help do this? So I mean, the question becomes, where are the workers that are going to help to put all this together? Because right now it's a ball of ideas that you've got. They're grand ideas too, and I'm loving it. But the answer to that question is right here inside of On Passive. We have got a microcosm of the general population in the world. So we've got all the drive and the intellect needed to do anything that we need to do. Now, you had talked about writing grants and things like that. And in a previous life, I did those sorts of things. I wrote grants or requests for grants and requests for proposals. And I'm telling you what, that is a lot of work. And That's not something that I would even recommend, simply because, and thanks to Mr. Mufara's heart, his will, and his generosity, we're going to have the resources to do much, much more than a lot of people might even think. And even more than that, through the generosity that we're going to have through Mr. Mufara and on passive, we're going to have a ton of resources. And specifically speaking, and I'm bringing it right back to Obless, because Obless is a clean, heartfelt, heart-led, 100% for the cause platform. Every dime that goes into it goes into the cause. And there's no limit on the causes you can have. And you've got global reaches, and you've got all of the resources within the digital ecosystem connected to it for education, like the Academy, and for the platform of the webinars, like the OConnect. And there's so many more other things. So everything is right there within OnPassive. And the beauty of it is that OnPassive is going to be the one to administrate that, right? They're going to be administering the platform of Obless, which means they're going to be using their prowess, socially, economically, financially, to jump on board with anything that they approve that we want to do. And then when you look at the funding portion of it, I mean, how many hundreds of thousands of founders do we have? And if you get even 1% of those donating 10 or 15, $20 a month, you've got more money than you can spend. So the point then becomes, now we've got this big bucket of money. Who is it that's already doing some of this work that we can build on, so we're not starting from scratch and trying to reinvent the wheel, so to speak? So, I mean, that's my first take on everything that you said and where you're going with it. So if somebody wants to kind of jump in here, because that's my idea about how the first thing we should be doing, like you say, is redirect the understanding of our kids to know that they have the power to do this, and they're smart enough to do this, and they can do this, and we empower them, because that's the first thing, is just understanding that our kids are a wonderful resource for this future. And Obless within OnPassive is something to make that really happen. So I'm going to shut up and let somebody else talk right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I am just so happy because one thing that I would take from that action, who is going to do this work? You just posed that question. Us, the unperceivants. It doesn't hurt to donate 10, 20, even $30. I
Yeah.
would donate all my life to Obless, because it is Obless that has saved my life to bring me to where I am. Obless in that little village, the entire village came together to bless me and to send me abroad to further my education. So why not? I devote my life to serving and serving through Obless, through OnPassive. Thank you so much for that. Anybody else, please?
I would like to say a few words, if I can. First of all, I want to thank you, Dr. Yvonne Mundih, for inviting me to this panel. I'm so excited to see so many wonderful faces and great hearts. And some of you have helped me a lot on my journey in OnPassive. This October will be my 3rd birthday with OnPassive, and OnPassive has changed my life. I get goosebumps from just looking at your faces and being here at this event. So, Dr. Yvonne, you're a huge blessing for so many people who know it and many people that don't know it yet. One global movement is here to stay. I love the messages, and OnPassive is going to help it stay and grow bigger and bigger. And I wrote quite a few notes with what you had to say before, and with what dear engineer Sushta and my friend Jeffrey Morlock were saying here. So I'd like to share some messages that came through my mind while I'm listening to you wonderful people. The word mentorship that Sushanta had shared, the word responsibility, accountability, what Jeffrey Morlock was saying about resilience, impact, critical thinking, creativity, and who's going to do the job. And Unpassive is going to help us do much. Speaking about the grants that Jeffrey Morlock was talking about, we will be able to do much more with much less effort. So coming from my background of teaching and working with underprivileged adults and teens, I would like to say that the ideas are wonderful and very, very important. The message is wonderful. It's unfortunate that when we talk with people who feel unfortunate, it's a little hard for them, I'd say, to connect with ideas. They want to see the action. And so I would like to bring here a part of how I see we can connect between the amazing ideas that had come through here and also some actions. So first of all, I'd like to say that we are all teachers. We are all teachers in Unpassive. If we have children, we are teachers, we know. We have parents. We know that we taught them a few lessons during our lives. We have siblings, nieces, nephews. So my question is, every teacher needs to go through a set of studying and earning their credentials to walk into a classroom. So I want to throw out that question. What are our credentials? We should everyone needs to ask themselves, how much do we want our credentials to shine? So those students will be coming running into our classroom. We don't have to go out there to look for them. They will want to come and learn. They won't wait for us to ask them to come in with their notebook. They will come in with their laptop, or they will come in with their friend's laptop, or with their phone, or with any kind of tool, because they're motivated, because our credentials have been shining. So I'd like to give you 2 cents of my experience in my growth in Unpassive, and I've been so blessed to meet so many people and learn so many lessons through so many beautiful souls that I've met along the way. First of all, Unpassive has nothing to do with age. Whether you're 20 or 81, ask Mr. Yosef Bashari, who happened to go to school with my dad. He's 81 years old. He shows up to every meeting that I have. It says here, USA Israel. I hold a lot of meetings. Most of my actions in Unpassive is with the Hebrew-speaking community. I feel that it's my message. It's what I came here for, to help the Hebrew-speaking community learn more about Unpassive. And so we need to shine our credentials. How do we shine those credentials? When a student comes into a classroom, they're looking to value. They're looking to learn content, something new. What do we have to offer? I'll tell you a secret that you probably all know. It's not only about the content, it's about the energy. There are so many math teachers in the world. There are so many literature teachers around the world, history teachers. But we remember that one teacher, that something about their energy was different. It touched us. It could be a kindergarten teacher. It could be a high school teacher. They touched us with their energy. So, in my opinion, where I think and where I look to gain that energy is from studying. I find that many people ask, well, what do I say? How do I help Joe Schmo also sign up? And my question is, Well, what is on passive for you? What is on passive? Why did you register? Why did you stay? And what's your journey? And the other thing is that it's all here under our nose. We all have a back office. And for those users, we all have our account in the ecosystem. It's all done for us, but it doesn't mean that we are done with it. And let me give you an example. When we go into our links, we have a tab that shows our promotional videos. And let me give you a hint. In less than 2 hours, you can change your life dramatically. When you look into those promotional videos, there are 10 clips at the moment about several topics that have to do with on-passive. At a whole, it's not even an hour of clips. Some clips are 1 minute and 35 seconds. Some might reach 2 or 3, maybe 4 minutes. And I recommend to learn them. And how do we go about learning? Because remember, we want to shine our credential. We want to bring those people to come into us. We want to be the haunted, not the hunters. So the first step that I recommend everyone to do is to watch it and ask yourself some questions. First of all, in each clip, what was it in this clip that touched me? What's offering me a horizon? How can I use it? And the last question about each clip, after I answered those questions, who comes to my mind out of our loved ones, not strangers, our loved ones? Why do they come up to our mind when we watch this clip? When we answer those whys and we go over and over and over it again, we get to some results. And the clip is done wonderfully. And sometimes a blessing could be a curse because it's done so well. We think that once we watched it, we're done with it, right? It's perfect. It's 100% perfect. The problem is we don't use it properly because we are not in it yet. So did it ever happen to you when you had to read a text in order to complete some homework, in order to answer some questions? Did it ever occur to you that you had to read that text once, twice, 3, maybe even 4, maybe 10 times? I'm sure that happened to some of us. It happened to me, for sure. When we watch a perfect clip, we think we're done after we watch it once. Well, we'll be extremely surprised how much we can take out of it when we watch it 10 times. Believe me, I've done it. I highly recommend everyone that's asking questions about what can I do? And how do I say this? And how do I say that? If we don't have the answers, we need to go back to school. When we are sitting in that classroom or standing, greeting our students in the classroom, and we have our shining credentials there, and the student asks us a question, we can answer that question. If we don't have an answer, we go learn more, or we're on our way to receive that shining credential. So on passive is for everyone. But just like Ash Mufara said, not everyone is for on passive. And our own on passive impact, speaking about impact, is a reflection of our own responsibility. let's just take action and do the things we need to do so we can grow. And last thing that I would like to say, second to last. First of all, God helps those who want to help themselves. And secondly, I've been approached by several people who I helped over my period in Unpassive, and they wanted me to help them once again. And my question to them was, what were you able to do in your growth in Unpassive? Did you register anyone for free? Right? For free. And they said, no, I don't know what to do. Well, this is what we need to do. At least it's a start. And then, well, I won't make it if I can't take action, if I can't fund, well, we know that since November 20th of 2022, Unpassive has been working for us. They've accumulated a huge amount of people that are interested to become Unpassivians and potential customers. Let's say I learn and I speak to one person a day and I get them to sign up for free, right? They don't need to give anything but an email. After a week, I have 7 people. Let's say after that week, Unpassive opens that pool of potential customers. Suddenly I have another 7 potential customers. That's 14 in 1 week, registering 1 person a day. Well, what happens after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? What happens if we register 2 or 5 people or maybe 10 a day for free? Well, how do I do that? Going back to stage 1. All right. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Dr. Yvonne. And thank you, you all. I love you so, so much. I do some training on Saturdays for those who need some more help. But it's all up to each and every one of us. So thank you. I love you.
We love you so much, IIanit. I'm just so lucky that I am having a family that, this is the best family in the world, the very best. My grandmother always told me, wherever you go, make your family, make the people your family. You know, my grandmother has been the #1 mentor in my life. Without my grandmother, I would not be here today. She fought tooth and nail and told me, and she's watching over us from heaven. And she gave me a mantle here to take to the world. This mantle, it never depletes. It's a blessing. And I can only speak in my language that will have an impact. She said, make sure you don't forget where you come from. Make sure you come back to this village and help the people of this village and their families, because they put everything all in you. They gave me their fish pond, their plums of trees. They gave me whatever from nothing to educate me, the first female child with a bachelor's degree. And they told me, keep going and learn and come back here and teach the village. And I'm still the very first with a master's and now a PhD recently. And those kids of the village and the families, they look up to me. And now even the global world, they look up to me. My grandmother said, not only in this village, go into the world and look after the women and the children, because you were made out of that. And today, I am so lucky. She said, God has lined your path with people who hold your hand to cross. And I said, Grandma, what are their names? Where do they live? I want to say hello to them. She said, you will not know. I don't know them myself, but God has put those people on your path. And today I am seeing that, what my grandmother blessed me with, in Unpassive, in Mr. Ashmufara, in all of you here, Lynn, Mr. Moloch, Mr. Engineer Sashanta, Mr. John Barilla. John Barilla has the character of my uncle. His name is John. He does exactly the same thing that this John Barilla does. And that is why I show so much interest in him. I see it in Dr. Bennett. I see it, and I see everything that my grandmother talked about. All of you here, These are the bridges that my grandmother was talking about. I am happy. I want to do more. I want to do it quickly before I exit the stage of this life into the supernatural realm. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Could I jump in for a second here and maybe read some comments from our folks in the chat? I haven't seen too many questions, but there's some nice thoughts.
That would be
in
nice.
the chat.
Thank you.
And first of all, Shalan Natakunda, he said, no child will be left behind. And then Engineer Shushanta, who's here with us, he said, first I went ahead. William Nuwananya, who we all know, I think many of us know William and what he's already doing for children in his country. He said, we should also emphasize on sexual education because our girls are affected by early pregnancy, which is really not good. Then Engineer Shushanta jumped in. He said, we should take care of our youth to make them leaders to lead the world. Let me look down now. Godwin Chukwuocha, he's saying to William, you are right. We already have that in the pipeline. Sexual education as a topic. Thank you for contributing. As I go down further, let's see here. See, the members of One Global Movement with the Streeting Group are all need to input this project plan as it is just a draft. That's all Insights Mastery saying that. William comes back and says, we are lacking technical schools, music schools, and ICT schools, which can help our youth to earn a living. Our youth should be job makers instead of being job seekers. Okay, I continue to look down here. Shalan comes back. Many challenges they face, especially the teens getting pregnant without anyone to help, no money, which means we should skill them so as to earn by themselves rather than looking for jobs. And let me just go down a little more. Godwin says again, please, we would like everyone to wear their thinking caps and marshal out ideas on how to grow this movement that we have here, One Global Movement, and make our youth happy. Let me look a little further. Let's see. Shalan again. Great. The noblesse, thanks to On Passive, many young mothers, school dropouts are struggling with life and end up going to Arab countries to earn a living. William again. We should involve our children in agriculture because we still have fertile soils, especially here in Rwanda. Well, once again, I hit my finger on something. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Shalan says, thank you. Teenage pregnancy is a big issue that must be addressed, and that has to stop. So anyway, as I go down, there's a few more, but I'll stop for now. And perhaps, here's something. We can also involve in agriculture, poultry, keeping in Uganda. We still have fertile lands, but many youth are jobless due to lack of funds. So I'll stop now, and let's see what other folks have to say a little bit in here now.
Thank you so much, John. Let's keep moving, guys. This is just so yummy today. I am just so happy. Even if I have to die today, I'm just so happy that there are people like you behind to carry out this in the world. Thank you guys so much. So let's hear from other people, please. I know that we've gone above 2 p.m. and people have to go to different functions. If anybody has anything, let's go ahead and do it. Otherwise, if there's nothing, we can go to the closing remarks.
I have a few short remarks to make, a few points listening to what has been said today. And one of them is collaboration. You know, what we have at hand is a huge and monumental task, wonderful goals, and they will be accomplished through One Global Movement. I have no doubt. However, we're looking at the fact that we don't want to duplicate our efforts. So we want to be able to share resources, jointly train, jointly motivate, jointly mentor, so that we combine, our resources. I think that's very important that we coordinate that. I also want to say that we need to attract youth to this movement. Like today, none of us here are youth. That's the point, right? Because the older set is motivated for the youth, but the youth need to come forward. And how do we do that? How do we attract them? How do we have a message that appeals to the youth so they will come on board with us? So those are the two major things. Oh, also funding. Funding is a very important thing, and through Obless, I believe we'll be able to accomplish much of the funding initiatives that are required. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Now, it couldn't have been gone through without you putting in a word. I really appreciate that so much and the work that you're doing for One Global Movement. Thank you so much. Any other person, please?
Yes, Dr. Yvonne, I just want to take this few moment, if you guys can give me, let me say, a minute. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I want to thank Brother Jeffrey, Brother Shoshanta. I want to thank you guys for accepting our invitation. It's very important because we love you all. You guys are our leaders, and you guys have been here for quite some time. And we appreciate everything that you guys have done to all of us. What you have done, Brother Jeffrey, I don't know, it's only God that knows. I want to thank you, and Brother in Shoshanta, I appreciate everything. Now, Dr. Mundih, before I proceed, if you don't mind, most of the time I always say, please give me a minute. I want to take this special moment to really thank our Heavenly Father. I'm thanking Him that He has done a lot to all of us. He created you and I, all of us, in His image. And what He did was He sent someone to us, our visionary. If it wasn't for our visionary, you and I, all of us will not be here at this present moment. And our visionary, his name is Mr. Ash Mufere. Most of the time I say it, unpassive is owned by God, but he called someone to take control. And our CEO accepted the calling. And he stated that either I do or I die. And anyway, he is here to correct corruption, eradicate poverty, and to uplift humanity. But Dr. Mundih, this one global movement, when it comes to children, I know that the children are our future. They are the next generation. But remember that you and I, we are parents, right? We have to lead, we have to structure them. As I will let each and everyone knows that the environment matters a lot to raise a child. Remember, when a child is in your womb, it's your baby. But when the child is out of your womb, it's ours. So we work together to help these children. We mentor them. Now, like I stated before, they are our leaders, our future leaders. Now, being a parent and raising a child, Dr. Eva, you make me to understand that education is very important. I know at the bottom of my heart that, to me, education is the key to success. Without education, to me, I am nothing. To be good is not good enough. We have to exceed expectation. Being a mother or parent, when you go to school and educate yourself and you have children, do you know that most of the time, the way you behave, the children follow your footsteps? If you misbehave, they will do the same thing. You notice that there are some parents that they smoke, right? Their children follow their footsteps. So please, if you are a parent, or if you're planning to be a parent, please think twice. We do have our underprivileged children out there. Homelessness, widowers, orphanage. St. Jude Hospital, I always say that, right? In United States. They need help. Now, when it comes to children, you will ask them something. What do you want to be? You know, sometimes someone say, I want to be like Michael Jordan. Now, in order to be like Michael Jordan, you have to practice, right? Practice to be like him. You can't, sometimes they said, some people said, oh, I just want to pray. Yes, you can pray, but you need to study. You have to study. Our children have to respect their parents, respect their elders, respect their instructors, their teachers at school. And if they go to school, their instructors give them homework. They need to come back home and do their work. Now, I will need parents to work with their children. If the children need some help, parents, please, you can do that. Our children, they are our future. Remember, ask them what do they want to do with their lives. They will tell you, and then you work with them. Help them. Can you guys do that? Now, when it comes to this, there are a lot of things with unpassive. We do have a lot of solutions that will help our children. Not only our children, but each and everyone all over the globe. But we know we are here for the kids, and we are going to work together. Please, thank you so much. I don't want to take too much time, but our children are our future generation, but we need to help them. Environment matters a lot. Thank you, Dr. Mundih.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Benny. I see the passion from your heart, and it's the passion that flows, that energy that flows through all of us here today. We are on the right footing. And this energy, coupled with the one from Mr. Ashmufare, there is nothing that I could have asked God for, but for what God has given me, given us here today through you guys, the titans of Unpassive, through Mr. Ashmufare. I am so grateful. Thank you. Anybody else, please?
Yeah.
I'll just jump in again. I just want to say, look at folks and the names of the people that we have here today. Folks that have been here from the very first time we got together and that have come back. And I just want to encourage everyone, all of you that are repeaters and becoming part of One Global Movement, please continue to come back, because we're going to get more involved. We're going to get more detailed as we move into the future. And I also want to ask everybody, the folks that are in the chat, for example, please keep coming back. Please bring people with you to our every other week on Fridays for our meetings and our gatherings here. And I just want to say thank you to all the folks that I'm looking at, the names and the pictures in the back of me. You can see here all these folks. Many of them are here today, haven't spoken yet or whatever. But thank you very much. And please be involved, be more involved, and continue to join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, John. Okay, Mr. Moloch.
Wow, what a great thing this has been. I'm telling you what, I'm loving. I haven't spent so much time in front of a camera in a long time, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what you had talked about. You know, Doctor, you spoke about your experience and about the debt that you hold for your home, for your roots, right? And you're looking to make the changes. You're looking to make that type of change that I refer to in my videos sometimes as changes at the grassroots level, which is change that starts at our personal roots, right? And by this I mean within Unpassive, we're moving on a path that is going to ensure our success. That's why we're in here, because we all want to be more successful. And that's going to allow us to attain and to live in abundance, or in some cases more abundance, to such an extent that we're going to be able to share from that abundance. And that's what we're talking about doing with Passive, right? To share with those closest to us, beginning with family members, our roots, right? And then the next door neighbors. And then we go out into the community and beyond. So that's what we're talking about, is creating change from right where we're planted, right? You want to bloom where you're planted and go outward. And these things are going to happen organically, because when we have our needs met as human beings and we no longer worry about paying our bills or worrying about putting food on the table, that sort of thing, right? It's a natural thing for us to think of others and put others ahead of what we're thinking about for ourselves. And this is something that Mr. Mufara has talked about, he has taught about, he has lived out, he's been an example for us of, and that is specifically lifting others up to our level, which is exactly what you're looking to do, and we all should be looking to do. And that includes the work that you have for our kids and the work that you want done with the children as well. So this is all going to happen if we just continue to put one foot in front of the other, so to speak, right? So that the journey just is going to unfold beautifully right in front of us. It's happening. You've got it. You've got the seed here. It's planted and it's getting fertilized, and we don't have to worry about it. If we'll just continue to do like we are and let the things go on that are going to go on, you're going to see a great deal of success in what you want to do with this. So thank you to everybody here, and thank you for just feeling that debt obligation to go back to your roots, because so many of us need to do that. I did not realize until last year, when I got really looking around my own community, excuse me, that I've got people 2 blocks that live 2 blocks from me in desperation, poverty. I had no idea. So thank you. I know that it's helped me to understand more of what I want to do and where I'm going. And I'm hoping that this platform is going to bless a whole lot of people in a whole lot of ways. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeffrey Molo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say thank you in my language, in my parents' language, because that carries more weight than anything else. Mbabane, Mbabane, because a lot goes on in my mind. When I'm a crybaby, I cry out of happiness, because the life that I'm living now is a life that I never lived. I walked for years barefoot to go to school. I lived for years with just 2 pairs of dresses to wear. I was made to be in a place, my mother and her children, not because of choice, but because of the choice of others. I will wear my one clothes to sleep, to go to the farm with, to do whatever. When it is dirty, I take it to the stream. I wash it, and I wait for it to get dry, and then I put the same thing on. The other one was for church, for Sunday school. And for me to be able to sit here today, I'm wearing beautiful earrings, and I'm wearing this, and I'm living a life that I never lived before, not because my mother was lazy. My mother was a hardworking mother, and my grandmother, but everything that we own was taken away from us. Even my mother, we were made homeless. And even right now, as we speak, those odds are still against me, because I'm in the United States. They think that they can still control my mind and everything that I own, like they did to my mother. And I showed that resistance, because I was the one that I was prepared to die. I was bleeding, but I said, but I'm going to die anyway. Why don't I insist on that education that would get me to freedom and success? And that is what brought me here today. Resilience, determination, do it or die, like Mr. Ashmafara says it. And I see it. I am just so happy that 2 pillars are here today that are going to make this thing move on. I will be hanging onto the shoulders of these 2 powerful titans that are here today. You guys know those that I'm talking about. Thank you guys so much.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, Ava, you can.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure being here, and you motivate everyone, and seeing your motivation, we come forward. Our youth, you always say about the youth. Yes, we do need to bring our youth. I'm a mother, and I'm a mother of 4 children. I have brought up my children with, you know, a lot of care and love. And but what about the homeless youth that are there? They don't have parents. Isn't it our duty to go forward and look for them and to bring them forward? We need to do that. And I, for one, will always be here because I do believe that we are here to motivate them, bring them forward, and let them know that yes, they have people standing beside them. They have each and every. Uh, I would like to say thank you to all that have been here, Mr. Jeffrey Moloch, Engineer Shushanto, John Barilla, Yvonne, IIanit, you know, each and every one. I mean, because of everyone's motivation and love for the youth that we are here. And I think we can go forward and bring in a lot more people, counsel them, because there are a lot of youth that even I get. They call me up, they talk to me for counseling. I do talk to them, I counsel them, but I do know also that when they get this backing, they will be someone and something. So all I need to say is thank you, Yvonne. Thank you for having all of us here. You're muted.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Ava. What I'm trying to say
There
is
you
there
go.
are so many people that maybe they have something to say. They're trying to get in. I'm just wondering if some people can fall off. I know we are waiting for O Connect. O Connect is going to do the trick here. So, but if Lynn, if you want to, John, if you want to arrange for some people to fall off, but I would like our two big titans to stay on the screen. Then some people can come in, and it's taking a little bit more. But I think this is how important the issue of children and our young people is very vital in our world. Thank you so much.
Can I add something, Dr. Yvonne, by your permission?
Yeah, thank you. Go
Thank you
ahead.
so much for allowing me and to be a part of this global movement. Thank you so much. And youth empowerment. It has been widely said that youth hold the future of our country. So now it's time to take the action. But if we take the action in right direction, it only works. So on passive is like a mother holding its kids tight in its arm.
Thank you.
So the child should bloom and shine and let not the heat of the world touch its kids. And so that they blossom with love and happiness and spread the fragrance of wisdom and spread a fragrance of love to all the world. So on passive is not giving the equal opportunity to all the without discriminations to all the children's globalized, because every children is an equal deserver of good food, education, medical facility, and all the good upbringings they need to have. So it could be possible only when we give them with a healthy environment around them. So we are having our links ready. Let's open our arms to all the globalized world and all the children of this world who wants to come in the shady tree to get the bright future and the tree which is full of fruits. So you can have them fruits according to your choice. It is so healthy and juicy, and it is so full of insight piece. So thank you so much, Dr. Yvonne, and all the panelists for joining me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sapna. You're one of those young people that we are talking about. And let us remind ourselves that these young people is not just 18 and up, they can attend on their own. But if they are younger, because my difficulty started at 11, and so I decided to put it at 10. But even so, from birth, it is so important. So if you are younger than 18, we encourage that the parents or the adults around these younger ones should come here with them, because we want to make sure that these kids are safe, they are where they are supposed to be, and they are happy with what they are. That is why we take the cleanness, the purity of unpassive to do this here with One Global Movement, because our kid needs a clean mind, a clean
Yvonne,
soul, clean materials, clean IT, clean everything, the
Yvonne,
way Mr. Ashmufara has set it. So we all here need to do that with a clean mind, accepting one another without criticism, knowing that we all don't have it all together because of one reason or the other. Oh,
hi
you don't hear
Yvonne.
me?
No, what I'm saying is there's someone with their mic unmuted. It's competing with you. So all of the speakers here, the panelists, look at your mic and make sure you are muted. Let's wait for the sound to ebb. It's really competing with you. I hear a male voice. Okay, it suddenly got quiet. You're good. Okay, so all
Okay.
panelists, look at the mute button. Keep muted. Go ahead, Yvonne.
Okay.
No, somebody's still unmuted.
Oh my God.
And I don't
Attention,
see-
please mute yourself, whoever that is.
Yeah, Briddy
Okay.
is the only one that can unmute. I don't see her here anymore. Okay, proceed.
Okay. Thank you so much. What I'm saying is, what we are doing, let's do it from the heart. Like the way Mr. Ashmufara said, he says, you cannot uplift humanity without a heart. That means a clean heart. So we do these things clean because, first of all, we may think that we are doing it only for these children or for other people. What we are really doing in essence is we're doing it for ourselves. I take an example from me, not because I'm pew or anything, but my grandmother taught me how to do things for my community as young as 8 years old, going around cooking food for those who cannot cook for themselves, for the widower, the widowed. Then arranging community activities to clean around the tap area, the river areas. We do it because when you do those things, what you're doing is you're actually building yourself and educating yourself, and in turn, it's going to shine and show on the children that we are trying to help globally and families. So I am just so happy. Today it's going to go down in my journal. I'm a writer. It's going to go down today as one of the best days in my life. Thank you. Any other person, or we should give our closing remarks here? We can go ahead and do it. John, what do you think? Closing remarks? Lynn?
Well, I don't really have any real closing
Is
remarks.
Yasmin is here.
We
She's the one who prepared this action plan. Does she, Yasmin? Do you
Is she on right now?
Yes,
I don't.
yes.
Yeah, she's here. Do you want to say something? Because
Yes, I just would
Oh no, she got booted just now.
oh, she's right here.
I think she'll come back in.
She's
there
right
she
here.
is. She's back.
Do you have something to say? You helped to prepare this action plan for the youth of One Global Movement. We would like to hear a word or two from you because that would be a blessing. Thank you.
Yes, I just would like to remind you, because you are, you are everywhere when you are in the middle of the project. All of you are, very important. And as we are Ambassadors, while we are going to do different ways of doing our own projects, we are going to change the world. So we are thinking about anyone who is interested doing any job with the youth. We can come under Yvonne as an umbrella, because One Global Movement and One Women Entrepreneurship with Wow Women are going together in a kind of umbrella and a working partnership. So it's a matter of coordination, and we being as a big family. That's the best way that we can win. as far as I know, because even the funders or anybody or the crowdfunding likes when people are working together. So let's put our energy together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Should we close? I always like to ask. John Barilla, Lynn, should we close?
I think so. This is a nice
Yes,
time
yes.
to close. It seems a natural time to close. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Engineer Sashanta. Thank you, Mr. Moloch, for being here today. You just graced the stage of One Global Movement for all the children of the world. Your names will be in the mouths of children all over the world to be singing, because you came this way. They're going to listen to this, and I bet you they listen to it all the time. They will know that you love them, you care about them, and you're willing to work for them. And I just want to thank you all so much. Thank you, Mr. John Barilla, who is working relentlessly. And thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you, Amina. Thank you to all the team who are here, William, James, Dr. Adris, everyone. I can't call all the names. Ava, Briddy, Esther, everyone. I so love you all. And thank you so much. We'll see you here again. Like I said, there is this other program that I created Monday through Thursday, which I will be inviting Mr. Moloch and Engineer Sushanta interviewing you so we can pick on your brains. I'll be inviting you guys Monday through Thursday, 2 p.m. I will be inviting it's also to continue to support One Global Movement through Speaking with Heart and Voice of Soul, so that these kids need a lot. We have to get down to action, and that's the action that I'm taking. Thank you guys so much. And I always like to close with this. I encourage all our youth, our children, all of us to stay focused, stay encouraged, stay empowered, and always believe in endless possibilities. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, everybody, and come back. Please come back.
Thank you.